What are you doing?
Cheese.
Ew, you're just eating hot cheese?
Our inverter's not working well. It's a bit sick. And our fridge isn't pumping out the...
Yuck, that looks so gross.
It's a bit... not warm, but sweaty.
Oh, I'm going to stick to my apple, thank you. And that VO.
G'day guys, I'm Hannah.
I got that.
I got the worst underwear on today.
And this is Kieran.
Oh, I'm doing this for the vlog.
And we've been travelling Australia and the world for a little while now. In this series, we are taking you to some of Central Australia's most iconic locations and showing you that it is possible for two people not to shower and live in a car for 10 days. So go subscribe and let's get on with it. Good morning, you guys. We've gotten up super duper early this morning and we are heading for Uluru, which I'm super excited about, but kind of nervous because I know how touristy it's become. And I'm a bit scared to see how much it's changed because I've been there in like 10 years. But anyway, we woke up about 5 and we were on the road by 5:30 and we left Uluru Creek Big Hole Camp and we're just heading out of West MacDonnell Ranges National Park now, and the sun is just peeking its head up over the hills, and every time we go up a hill it's like sunrise and then it's like sunset again. It's really funny. And I must have just come back into phone reception because my phone's going bananas. So we're going to stop off in Alice Springs and grab a gas bottle and a bit of fuel, and then we will be driving 6-ish hours to Uluru. And our plan today is to head out to Kata-Tjuta and see the sunset and do hopefully a 7k walk around there. I'm not really sure what we want to do when we get there yet. And then tomorrow we'll be doing the 10k base walk and watching the sunset on Uluru, which will be beautiful. And then Cooper Pedy, and we're coming so close to the end of our trip, which is insane. So we'll check back in with you at about, I don't know, later this afternoon when we get to Kata-Tjuta. Our windscreen is so dirty. That's what we get for driving east at sunrise. Oh, it's so bright. Sun's up.
Sun's up,
It's really bright. We've got to stop driving east and west at sunrise and sunset. It's annoying. Today was Saturday morning. In the last 5 days, we had travelled from our home in Girraween in Darwin to Daily Waters pub where we had a beer, through to Devil's Marbles where we saw those incredible rock formations, and to Uluru Creek Big Hole in the West MacDonnell Ranges. Pretty impressive for a couple of hungover cats like us. This morning we were heading from Uluru Creek Big Hole back to the Stuart Highway and to a little town known as Curtin Springs where there's a fantastic free camp that allows you to access Uluru. I want to say this place is a well kept secret, but it's totally not, and it gets insanely busy here. I just saw the tip of Uluru and Kiz could not give $3 about it.
We're driving.
I was really excited. It's right there.
Yeah, I can see it now.
It's so red. What the hell? Wait, let me show you guys. There you go. Just there.
I can see the people on it.
There you go. There you go, that's your first Uluru sighting.
There you go.
I've never seen someone so unexcited. We've driven like 5 hours.
I've driven 5 hours.
We've driven 5 hours. Don't you start about driving distances.
Yes.
We've driven west, and I think we're both a bit antsy because we don't want to drive west, we want to drive south. But there you go. Now it's gone behind a hill again.
Yep. Fantastic. Awesome. Excellent. Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
I need that.
Yep. Rightio, Joe.
Oh, Monopoly.
$50 that cost us, guys. 50 schmackaroos. The first port of call once you've entered the park and paid your fees has to be the Aboriginal Cultural Centre that gives you an amazing overview of the area, its heritage and its significance. We can't film or photograph in the Cultural Centre, so the webpage from the Uluru Kata-Tjuta National Park gives you a fantastic overview of what is available at this Cultural Centre. From there we headed out to Kata-Tjuta, also known as the Olgas. So we'll come out to Kata-Tjuta for our first stop. And we checked out the cultural centre, and there is some unbelievable information there just about the whole area. And the most interesting thing about Kata-Tjuta, which is where we're going now, is that you cannot know anything about it because it's an incredibly sacred men's only site where a lot of the like boyhood to manhood initiation ceremonies take place, and it's unbelievably sacred. So even on the internet, if you search for Dreamtime stories about Kata-Tjuta or any of those sorts of things, you can't find anything. They've done such an amazing job of keeping it secret, and just within the communities. Also, a lot of the areas around the place is very like off limits for filming, so we've had to pick up a brochure to let us know what we can film and what we can't film, and we have to follow it very closely to make sure that we don't ruin anything for anyone. So basically the takeaway from this entire video is going to be come to this place and see it for yourself and really experience it. That's really the only advice we can give you. It looks quite incredible.
I think this looks more incredible than
Uluru?
Yeah.
The colour's incredible on it. How is a rock formation that shape?
Yeah.
She's waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by, sitting peacefully in the morning light, asking nothing in return. She's waiting for the hummingbirds to fly by with the most beautiful smile. With the most beautiful smile.
Beautiful.
Isn't it?
It's amazing. This is just like overwhelmingly big. He's just like rise up out of nowhere. It's quite amazing.
She gives me real love all the time.
Just looks like Raiders of the Lost Ark.
She gives me
Indiana
real
Jones.
I wouldn't know what that is.
love
No, you wouldn't.
all the time. She gives me real love.
Ah, mother!
Burnt yourself?
Burnt myself on the step. Alright, what have we done?
So we've just done the walk of Kata-Tjuta.
About 2 and a bit K
Yeah,
return.
2 and a bit K. We were going to do the Windy Gorge, is that correct?
Valley of the Winds.
The Valley of the Wind, sorry. Which is like 7.2 Ks. And that's been closed off, but it seems like the majority of things been closed off due to the heat. So we chose this one. Great walk, as you can see from the gorge itself.
And we're about to head back down.
We're about to head back down. I think we need to hydrate and cool down because it's quite hot.
Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah.
Oh, mate, it's hot. Get in there. Oh, I feel bad for our inverter. It's like 1,000,000 degrees in here.
It's probably why it's carking it.
Far out, it's hot. So it's like 30, well, our car is saying 45 degrees, but I reckon it's probably closer to about 38. And we just did the I think it's 2.6 gorge walk, another gorge walk. We haven't done enough of those lately. That goes all the way through the gap in the 2 main bulges of the Olgas. It is hot and sunny. In the direct sunlight, I reckon you're pushing like 50 degrees. But we did it, and we're very sweaty and dehydrated. But I enjoyed it. It was very beautiful, hey?
Yeah, it's good. We are, for the 2.3K walk, it's certainly got a lot out of it.
Yeah, and it's just such a beautiful, overwhelming feeling of the massive gorge walls just like rising up out of nowhere, and looking at all like indentations and beautiful things like that. But we are absolutely rooted now, so we're gonna go get an ice cream and a big bottle of water and chill out until sunset. We're gonna go watch ye old sun set in front of Uluru.
Ye old sun.
Ye old sun.
I just think it's outstanding that such a big rock like this is in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's
And
bananas.
what I was saying before, it looks like a sand dune.
Yeah, I think everyone always thinks it's real smooth, but it's actually real like
Yeah, but it does look
speckly.
smooth. I can see people walking up there.
By this point in the day, it was getting on and we were exhausted, so we headed back to the cultural centre to grab some cold water and some ice creams, and then got in nice and early to the sunset viewing area to watch the sunset in front of Uluru. Pretty good digs, huh?
Yeah.
Decent office for the day. With a...
This your office, it's 9 to 5.
Yeah, it's a fabulous view. Getting a little bit of photo editing done while we wait for the sun to sink. Life's pretty good.
Watching the sunset on Uluru is obviously a must-do when you're visiting this area, but if you want to get good shots, you must get there early because look how many people show up. This place is insane.
What do you think about it, Web? Thoughts, feelings, opinions? Pretty?
It's pretty magical there. I wish you were able to experience it, we can't get here, but
Yeah, it'd be nice if
not
there's
possible.
no one here. Totally.
But from the colours we've been up, say, for the past 3 hours, it's been awesome.
Yeah, good.
We did get here about 3 hours before sunset and made ourselves nice and comfy in the back of our car with our swag and watched the sun set on this beautiful rock. And I think I might have taken the best time lapse of my life. Check this out. The next morning we were up bright and early to head out to Kata-Tjuta again to watch the sunrise.
Morning, you guys. It's super early. We left our camp at about 4:30 this morning to come out for the sunrise. We're gonna do a time lapse of the Olgas this morning, or Kata-Tjuta. And I didn't think we'd be the only ones here, but there is a mammoth queue already at the gates to get into the park. I actually can't believe that. That's like maybe 30 cars deep already.
Waiting for it to open at 5:30.
Yeah, so the park opens at 5:30 and then we can get through and we'll hook a right and go out to Kata-Tjuta and do a time lapse. But wow, a lot of people had the exact same idea. Hopefully they're not all going to Kata-Tjuta.
No, hopefully not.
Having internet in the outback is super rare, and for some bizarre reason we have internet sitting in the queue waiting for the gates to open, so we're just catching up on Instagram and Facebook and all our friends and family.
A better internet connection to what we had in Darwin.
Yeah, literally in the queue to get into Uluru. So there you go. Silver linings, guys. Silver linings.
When we first arrived at the dune viewing area for the Olgas, there was very few people here, but as soon as we got there, the tour buses started arriving and there was hordes of crowds. But still, we managed to get what we came for, and that was a time lapse of these beautiful rocks. Alright you guys, we just finished our time lapse for the sunrise and it was pretty unremarkable. Sorry, my arm is breaking.
We sort of did the same thing over again. We pointed at the wrong.
Yeah, I still appreciate it though, and I think the cloud cover made it kind of cool, but yeah, it was relatively unremarkable. Even the sunrise behind Uluru, it was spectacular for like 5 minutes, and then after that, not really.
Blew out pretty quick.
Yeah, so now we're going to head down to Uluru and we're going to do our 10k walk, and there's a lot of cloud cover this morning, so it should be nice and cool for most of the walk, which is good.
Yeah, and then we're off to Cooper.
Yeah, then Cooper Pedy, big 8-hour drive for Savo.
Alright, I got my breakfast of champions. A little bit of dredges of peanut butter. Because we don't have any way of cooking breakfast this morning. And we also don't have any breakfast food. All we packed really was dinner food.
And over like 4 weeks of canned food.
Anyway, peanut butter is actually a surprisingly good breakfast because it's just like super. Well, there's a limo over there. It's a bit extra. Okay. So this is my breakfast, and now we are heading to proper Uluru, and we are going to, I'm going to get changed because I'm still in my PJs, and we're going to do the 10k walk. So with the 10k walk, I think it's 10.3 something, but I believe it's like a moderately easy walk because they only suggest like 3 hours to do it in. So I think it'll take us 3 hours because we take such a long time to film. Oh yeah, it's my peanut butter.
It's on the way.
Alright, these little explorers are ready, let's do this. There's a lot of people climbing today, so we're going to get some footage of the people heading up the rock. So those who don't know, climbing is super, it's not prohibited yet. This is the last month that climbing is allowed on Uluru, but absolutely.
Last couple of days, to be honest.
Last couple of days, but it is absolutely totally frowned upon, and we will not be doing it, and we do not encourage it at all. But there is about, I'm going to estimate 50 people minimum on this rock right now, and it just looks ridiculous. It's a joke.
People have died on that. That's so steep.
Yeah, so the statistics are that 35 people have died falling from the rock or from other injuries and things like that. My mum was actually here in the 80s and saw someone fall and die, which is so scary. But anyway, we'll show you what it looks like, and I hope that none of you ever get the chance to climb it and that you get to do this amazing base walk, which I'm super excited about. I literally can't get over how many people are already here. And a lady, I hope you can hear this, it's super windy, a lady just chatted to us as we were getting out of the car, and she's like, you better hurry, the climb closes at 8. And we were just like, no, we're not here for the climb. But they're only leaving it open for the shortest amount of time, and they're using heat as the reason why they're closing it, which I think is excellent.
I'm just blown away about like some of the sculpture and rocks and just sort of made, and how big it is.
Yeah, it's freaking enormous.
Just to give you some context here, Uluru is obviously an incredibly sacred rock, and for this reason, the Indigenous people of the area have been asking people for years not to climb the rock. We were here in October, and in a matter of days, the controversial climb and the 30-odd-year debate about whether or people should or shouldn't be allowed to climb this sacred monolith was finally coming to a close, and the rock was being closed for climbing for good.
It takes something extraordinary to turn your back on a sunrise like this. Uluru is extraordinary, captivating tourists who can now admire from afar, admire up close, just not on the iconic rock anymore.
Big celebration, big celebration. It's been a long time coming.
Tourists queued for their final opportunity.
Open the gate, thank you.
And after a delay caused by windy conditions, the big red rock was open one last time.
Got water? Yeah.
Those choosing to climb say Uluru is nature's gift to everyone.
Back in primary school, when I read about Uluru, is when I wanted to do it, so over 20 years ago. So I've decided to come before it closes.
You know, for us, this is a very sacred place, and we want people to come here and respect it.
It's insane. This has sparked huge amounts of controversy around the country.
With you, I'm Indigenous. I was born here. I'm native to the land.
She's Indigenous?
Yes, I am. Do you know the word Indigenous?
Yeah, I do.
Native to the land. I was born here. Where's my land if it's not Australia?
England?
Senator Hanson believes closing the rock climb is like shutting down Bondi Beach. Charlotte Mortlock, Sky News.
But ultimately, this will be a win for everyone involved. We as tourists get to experience the rock the way it should be by walking, looking, listening and feeling the environment, and the Aborigines get their home and their church back. What's not to love about that? Clockwise or anti-clockwise?
Not too sure at the moment.
Which way do you want to walk?
Let's walk this way.
Clockwise?
Yeah, let's go clockwise.
Alright, cool. Let's leave these crazy ass suckers behind. How crazy are these like weird wrinkly sections?
They're all over. It's nothing. None of them look the same, do they?
No, they kind of look like little bits of like brain, or like when you squash a piece of brain down in like a sample. I don't know if you're all scientists,
No.
but that's a thing, and it looks exactly like that. They're really cool. This is definitely the most like one of the most interesting sides of the rock. Kids just really fell.
I just fell over. This is what happens when you got to hold a camera and
You're
watch
doing
people.
well. But yeah, this side of it is very interesting in terms of like the actual erosion into the rock. Obviously the wind hits this side, which I think would be correct because the wind's blowing on my face right now. So it's really cool. I like this bit. Alright, so we've managed to walk all the way around. I think we've done probably about 4k, and we're on the west side of the rock now. And now that we're away from all the crowds and the climbing and stuff like that, I want to explain to you a bit of the history about the climb. So back in 1985, under Bob Hawke's jurisdiction, they handed the rock and the entire national park back to the Arangu people, and I hope I'm pronouncing that right, I'm probably butchering it, but it was handed back to them under the terms and conditions that we could still use it as a national park, we could still bring tourists here, and they were going to close the climb. So they were all very happy about that, and the climb was supposed to be closed. After a few weeks, the climb was reopened and nothing really ever happened. So that was what, over 50 years ago. And on the 1st of November last year, the board of directors for the national park ruled that the climb would be closed as of end of October this year, which is actually in about 3 weeks' time. So in 3 weeks' time, the climb will be closed for good. Hopefully, I can't see them reopening it. It would not make sense to reopen it. And the people you're seeing today are the last people who will get to climb the rock, which I think is fantastic. And we will not be one of them. So there's a bunch of different ways you can do the base walk now. When I was a kid, it was just walking, but now you can hire bikes, as I was saying before. They've also got Segway tours, which is crazy. It'd be a fun way to see it, but I don't think it really involves the whole natural side of it. But this is them up ahead. So Kiz and I were just talking before about what does the rock actually look like from above, and like what's its shape, because I think a lot of people think it's like this sort of fat hot dog shape. But we've just come to the point, and this section here that we're looking at, that bit, is actually its thinnest. So I can't pronounce its name, I'll have a go later, but that's its thinnest end. This side is a hell of a lot thicker. So I think that's quite interesting. Still quite thick, hey?
Still quite thick.
Alright you guys, we've got like probably less than a K to go. Our car's just parked around the side, and this is the back side of the rock, and it's the only time that you're really in the shade. So probably get the hot part done first and go clockwise, and then end up in the shade for the last bit. It's really, really nice. So yeah, it was a sick walk, definitely recommend it. I'm so tired now though, I'm not as fit as I used to be.
It's taken us about, what is it, two hours?
Yeah, a good 2 hours, and we've been filming as we go too. It's been very difficult trying to not film in the sensitive areas. We just missed one back there and accidentally filmed in it, so we won't be using that footage at all. But you just got to keep your wits about you and just look out for those signs to make sure you're not filming in the sensitive areas. And I want to leave you with one last cool fact about Uluru, which is my favourite so far, and that it is just over 800 metres high, and that's 1/11 of Everest. So if you stacked 11 Everests up on top of each other, 11 Ulurus on top of each other, you would get Everest, which I think is really sick. That kind of thing just like blows my mind. So yeah, we're gonna head back to the car now, grab some probably like ice creams and some cold drinks at the cultural centre, and then we have a big 8-hour drive to Kupapiti. So we will check back in with you a bit later, but we're gonna go rest our little legs now because we are cooked.
It's almost the end of our journey.
Yeah! Yoo-hoo!
10Ks.
Feeling good?
Yeah.
I am not feeling fresh.
No, that was a good walk.
Alright, ice cream time?
Yeah, let's reward ourselves.
Woohoo!
Join us next week as we head out to Kupapiti, discover the incredible and historical old breakaways, and discover some underground mining villages.
Died on it like that.
We have to start that again, but Mike wasn't on. What do you think of the rock?
Every time.
I'm sorry, my mic wasn't on.
Subscribe.